I'm Ricky Lambert, and you're watching Redmen TV.
All right, welcome along. It's Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV, and I'm a guest there today on Redmen TV. Now, the guys have asked me to put together what I think will be the formation to play against you guys, Liverpool, on Wednesday night. I know that Chris has done the same on our channel and told us about the Liverpool team that's going to play. And I get the feeling that a lot of these injuries that we've been hearing about, a lot of those players are going to be back. Arsene Wenger even said himself that miraculously, every time we play these teams and they have a lot of injuries, on the day, lots of them appear. That doesn't normally happen with Arsenal. When a player's injured, he stays injured. But listen, let's run through the formation. I think this is what the team's going to be. Sorry, I haven't got all the fancy pictures and everything that Redmen have, but we have the names. In goal, Petr Cech picks himself. He has been one of the main reasons of our success this season, in that he's just solidified our back four. It's a different kettle of fish with him in goal, and he's just been absolutely outstanding. At right back, Hector Bellerin, again, has been one of our best players this season. It's kept Matthew Debuchy out of the team, and he's just been outstanding. He's really, really quick. You'll see in the game that he bombs forward constantly, supporting the front three, and also defensively very good. Got a lot of speed and a lot of pace, so very, very good in recovery. I'm sure you've all heard the stories about him and Theo Walcott, and the two of them battling it out to find out who's the fastest in the club. But Bellerin has been outstanding this season. Centre-back, I think, now there's going to be a toss-up between Gabriel, who you see here, or BFG, who we affectionately call, that is Per Mertesacker, the big F in German, right? But I think we'll go with BFG because BFG gives more balance in the team when we've got Mertesacker there. Gabriel and Koscielny, very, very similar. So I think that's why this partnership is favoured, although, as you guys will know, and you'll be purring at the bit and thinking, yeah, he's very slow, so we can get at him. And that's why I'm kind of glad that Sturridge is not playing, because I think if Sturridge was playing, he would give Mertesacker lots of problems. On the other hand, Koscielny, he's very quick, very, very quick at his recovery game. Very strong. I think has been the best centre-back in the Premier League this season. And again, has been one of the reasons why we've been doing so well this season, because apart from a bad mistake that he made actually on Saturday against Sunderland that cost us a goal, but to be fair, he's been solid all season. And then a left back, Nacho Monreal. He's been absolutely outstanding for Arsenal. Listen, a couple of seasons ago, he was everybody's boo boy at Arsenal. He was the player that everybody used to get on his back. He was being played out of position. He was having to play as a centre-back. He's not a centre-back, but in the left-back position, for me, I don't think there's a better left-back right now in the Premier League than Nacho Monreal. He's been absolutely outstanding, and he's keeping Kieran Gibbs out of the team, and I think it's almost, I mean, he was rested on Saturday for the FA Cup game, so I think it's almost certain that he's going to start barring injury. We move to the midfield, holding midfielder. Now, this is an area where we have a problem. Matthew Flamini, I think, will play in that position, even though Mikel Arteta is back. But because Arteta's only just returned, I think it will be Flamini who will get the nod. Listen, Francis Coquelin, who is our main defensive midfielder, has been absolutely brilliant in that position. But because of his injury, Flamini's in there. We've actually gone out into the market to buy a player, Mohamed El Neni, because we know it's a weakness at the moment. And this is one position that worries me. This is one position that I think Liverpool will be able to get at us, and that is through the middle. You've also got Aaron Ramsey next to him. Aaron Ramsey, going forwards as an attacking midfielder, is absolutely outstanding. One of the best in the Premier League. Reminds me a lot of Frank Lampard in that, you know, he'll be constantly on the edge of the box, making those late runs into the box. He scored a goal just like that at the weekend. But sometimes defensively, he leaves his post. Even Flamini sometimes, not disciplined enough sometimes in some of these games, gets forward and leaves a big hole there for teams to exploit. And I think that's one area where Liverpool have got that pressing game. That is one area that definitely worries me in that game. I would have loved Coquelin to be in there because he's just disciplined. He stays there, sits in front of that back four and protects. These two guys, not as good as it. Although Ramsey, he does make up for it with his forward play and will be really, really dangerous against Liverpool. Mezut Ozil playing in behind the front three. What can I say? He's got the record, I'm sure you guys have heard it, record amount of assists this season. He's also been scoring goals, and he's just been exceptional in practically every game we've played this season. He's the guy that makes us click. If you're going to shut down Arsenal, you have to shut down Mezut Ozil, and you have to shut him down for the whole game. I've seen teams this season come, man mark him, shut him down for a lot of the game, but it only takes 2-3 occasions in that game for him to play through a couple of deadly passes, and these front three will be on the end of it, and they'll score goals. So Mezut Ozil, if I was looking at it from a Liverpool point of view, I'd be saying we need to shut down Ozil. We need to press him. Only problem is he's used to that. He's used to being pressed. He's used to being shut down. He knows what's coming. He's that good that he can cope with it. So that is the area that you're really going to have to play very well in. And then the front three. Let me start out on the left. Now, you'd be thinking, why is Theo Walcott out on the left? Well, in recent weeks, in absence, of Alexis Sanchez, Theo Walcott has been playing on the left-hand side and, sort of interjecting with some of the other players in the front three. But he's been very effective there. You know about his pace. I think with Arsenal, with the weaknesses at the moment to your back four, we'll be trying to get in behind. We know that, obviously, Moreno and Klein are both pretty quick themselves. But by having Walcott in there, that always forces defences to go a bit deeper than they'd like to. I know that Liverpool like to push quite high up the pitch if they possibly can and close us down. But if we win the ball and a guy like Mezut Ozil can get hold of it, he can exploit that space in behind. And both Theo Walcott and Campbell on the right-hand side have a lot of pace to get in behind. Campbell has been a revelation for Arsenal in recent weeks. Listen, at the start of the season, most people thought he was on his way out of the club. He's got his opportunity because of the injury to Danny Welbeck, because of the injuries earlier on in the season to Walcott, to Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he's come in and he's been brilliant. Some of the big games that we've played in, he's really stepped up. At the weekend in the FA Cup game, he starred the show. He's powerful. He's very similar to Alexis in that he's everywhere. He doesn't give up. He tracks back. He gets forward and he scores goals and he creates assists. And this guy is going to be a bit of an unknown quantity to Liverpool in that you've never really faced him before. But I can tell you, if he's on the form that night, he's going to be a very, very dangerous player, a player that Liverpool are going to have to be very, very aware of. Then we move to Olivier Giroud. Olivier Giroud is Olivier Giroud. He can turn up and he can stroll around for 70 minutes and then bang, he scores a goal. He can also be inspired on nights, and his hold-up play, is second to none. Probably the only other player that I think in the Premier League that holds it up and is as good a target man sort of as him probably would be like, say, your Lukaku's or Harry Kane's. This guy is the real deal up front. He does score a lot of goals, but what he does in these sort of away games is his hold-up play. He keeps the defenders busy. And if you do kind of have a sort of makeshift defence on the night, I think Olivier Giroud will pose you a lot of problems. And as I said, pops up with a lot of very important goals. On the bench, you're probably going to see, I haven't highlighted everyone's going to be on the bench, but Gabriel, who can come in at the back. Oxlade-Chamberlain, a good weapon to bring on later on, and that he's a player, he's very direct and will run at defences. I don't think he'll start there. I think he'll go with Campbell. He's on such form at the moment. And defensively, Campbell a lot better than Oxlade-Chamberlain. And of course, Mikel Arteta just returning back from fitness. I think at some stage will play a part where he'll come into that midfield because Flamini's legs are starting to go a bit. So I get the feeling that Arteta at some stage will come into that team. Also, there's probably be Iwobi, a youngster who played at the weekend and had a really great game. He looked really, really good. Obviously, this is a massive game. He won't be starting, but I suppose he's an option off the bench. And the other thing is, will Alexis Sanchez play? The feeling is that he's going to be kept to the Stoke game. We try not to rush him back. He's such an important player. Would have been brilliant to have had him in this game. He would have been made for this game. But get the feeling that you won't see Alexis Sanchez in this game. So that's the team that's going to be facing Liverpool. I think it's going to be a really good game, even though you guys have got injuries. We've got injuries too. We've got lots of big players like Coquelin, Alexis, Welbeck missing. You guys have got Sturridge, people like that missing. It's still a very evenly matched game. I've been at Anfield loads of times. I know about the passion. I was there when you stuffed us 5-1. That's why we're coming for revenge.
I'm going to try and predict the bench. I'm going to do that first, so bear with me. As soon as we've got the bench out the way, we'll get into the side. So there's some conversations to be had. We've got Smith, we've got Ilori, we've got Randall, Enrique, Ward, Sinclair, that's Ojo, but there's Sinclair, and Brannigan.